Hello everyone. Let's play some Diablo and talk for a bit. Cause I am not in a great place right now. Emotionally. Not in the sense of, you know, being depressive or anything. It's just I've had a hell of a lot to deal with recently. And I feel the need to vent about it a little bit to strangers on the internet, which, as we all know, is the healthiest coping mechanism available to human beings. So, if you follow this channel, you'd probably be aware that my grandmother died recently. She was very old, very sick, and that, you know, finally put an end to her, and I went to the funeral recently, and it fucking sucked. I mean, it was a beautiful ceremony and all, but it fucking sucked. Because it hurts a lot, still. So there's that. And, then a few days ago, on Friday, I lost one of my pets. One of my pet rats died because we had her put down. She had developed, well, she not so much developed, she had lost all control of her hind legs. Just complete poof, gone. She couldn't walk at all anymore. She had no control over them. She had no pain sensation in them either. I don't think it was hurting her, but it was distressing her a lot. Because she could only crawl around the bottom of the cage and couldn't, you know, climb on things, or she even had a lot of trouble eating because she couldn't use her front paws to grab her food because she was using them to balance herself. They were pretty much her only source of balance. So we put an end to that because she couldn't clean herself. And once an animal can't clean themselves, at least my opinion is that's when you kind of have to let them go, because they are inevitably, even if you try to clean them, even if you try to take up that responsibility, they are going to get an infection. And like it's not a worthy life. It just isn't. God, it's gonna take a lot of fireballs. Yeah. So that happened. And today, one of my other pet rats showing signs of a pituitary gland tumor, which is a really, really common kind of tumor in rats, which affects, I think it's some part of the brain. It's like it's a neurological issue. There we go. And causes her to lose some of her motor control. And she's having trouble eating already because she can't grasp her food very well with her front paws, and she's been losing a lot of weight. And so, yeah, I'm reasonably sure that she's on her way out. So, my grandmother, then one of my pets, then now another one of my pets. It's been a lot of death in my life for a while now. And I don't like it. That's my punchy analysis of that situation. I don't like it. It's exhausting. It hurts a lot, and I hadn't been able to cry. I cried at my grandmother's funeral, but since then, I just couldn't get the tears to come. I just couldn't. I was in damage control mode pretty much permanently, just constantly trying to hold myself together, as it were. And tears just weren't an option. And, you know, so I was just repressing a lot, even when my pet died, and today it all came crashing down. Just all completely crashed down all around me, and I had one of the most just ugly, sobbing miserable crying sessions of my life. It was a lot. It was a hell of a lot of emotions I had to process all at once. And that's, you know, it's good because it's cathartic. It helps to get it out. But yeah, it wasn't fun. And yeah. So that's what I'm dealing with today, is just the aftermath of that. Of all of that. Trying to kind of pull myself back together and get some work done. Because I have a lot of work. I have commissions. I have some you know, corporate, in fact, work that art commissions and stuff that I need to get working on, and I am at bingo fuel right now. I have nothing in my tank at all. I am so exhausted and drained and sad and trying to come to terms with another loss in my probably rather immediate future, because when rats die, they tend to die pretty quickly. They don't tend to stick around. Once it's downhill with them, they tend to go. Oh, I would not be at all surprised to wake up tomorrow and find her dead in the bottom of the cage. Or not. Like, she could hold on for months, for all I know, but... And it's... that uncertainty is also just... It's all of it is just draining. Everything's a drain right now. And I just don't have the fuel. I just don't have the mental energy to cope with it right now. But I will. I will cope with it. I've coped with a lot worse than this. That is one of the skills that I have as a person, and one of the competences I've built up is to not catastrophize, which is the easiest thing in the world to do, especially if you suffer from regular depression, is to catastrophize, which is when you... bad thing happens, and so your brain goes, thing will be bad forever. Like, it leaps from a bad thing happening to this bad thing is the permanent reality of your life now forever, and things will never be anything other than bad in this exact way. And that's something I used to do. Like, my brain used to have a lot of success trying to get me to think that way, that, oh, well, I just, like, when I had a depression day, and it was like some friend had tried to get in touch with me, and I just avoided them or not answered them, and they gotten, you know, justifiably kind of annoyed about that. And then my brain would be like, well, that's it forever now. Like this friendship is over. You can't maintain it because you feel bad right now, and you're gonna feel bad forever. And because you're gonna feel bad forever, you're never, ever, ever going to be able to maintain this friendship. So you might as well just this is over. It's dead. It's done. It's gone. There's nothing you can do to save it. There's nothing you can do to change. Catastrophizing, right? Jumping from a bad thing happening to the worst possible conclusion. I have managed to get myself rid of that habit. I've managed to develop cognitive strategies and coping tactics that help me avoid thinking and feeling that way. So even though today I am busted, I am done. I don't have anything with which to engage with the world or be a person at all. I'll have it back tomorrow, a little bit. I'll have a little bit of it back, and tomorrow after that, and tomorrow after that. And I'll have it back, and, you know, then bad things will happen, and it'll go down again, and then good things will happen, and it'll come back up, and the rhythm of life goes on. But just right now, I am done with the world, with everything. I'm just very, very, very done. And I felt like I needed to vent about that for a bit. Which, hopefully you can understand. Because There's a lot of death in my life right now. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it one little bit. And it's hard. And it's okay for it to be hard. It's not supposed to be easy. And you'll get through it. Me. That's...
What you need?
Here's some advice I can share, at least, is that when you're in deep shit with the world, when the world is just a giant pile of garbage fire all around you, you have to be able to tell yourself that it'll be okay. That you'll be alright. That things will be alright, because, especially as an adult, people ain't gonna tell you that for you. Like, or rather, people might tell you that, but in order to feel it, in order to realize it for yourself, you have to tell yourself. You have to be your own adult. Your own comforting voice in the darkness. And so I try to be that for myself. The person who tells you, hey, it's gonna be okay, you'll be alright. Because I am. I am gonna be alright. Eventually. Just not today. It's getting easier, I think. I think it is. Like, especially now that I've finally actually had a goddamn cry about it. And released some of all that pent-up everything. I have a lot of anger. I have a lot of anger at the world. For just dropping all this fucking shit on my shit. Like, first my grandmother, and then... one of my pets, and now one of my pets, and... it's a lot, and I'm pissed about it. I'm pissed. Like, that's the... I'm Cave Johnsoning about this. I want to speak to Live's manager. And set their house on fire with the explosive lemons that I will have my engineers create in response to all this. Anyway, I'm rambling. Thanks for listening.